I always thought I had more, but I just had trouble finding it. I always kind of ran into some type of obstacle that I felt allowed me from really expressing my true strength. And in 2021, it had been a few years that I'd seen any real progress. And when you kind of run into a patch of a few years that you're not seeing any real progress and the rest of the world is still seeing progress, you start to think that perhaps your shot is over. The 2021 Nationals was my first meet back after having the twins. And although I put up pretty good numbers for myself at the time, it wasn't my greatest meet.
You don't want to see that because you missed that on strength.
I didn't make a lot of lifts and I walked away really banged up and pretty injured. The worst time for me was actually after that Nationals. I hurt my hamstring, and when you have small children, they need to be carried everywhere. Picking my children up off the ground was hard. It made me question everything. Like, is training worth it? Because if I can't move my children around, if I can't be here for them, that defeats the whole purpose. I knew I had to make a decision if I wanted to continue powerlifting or if it was time for me to take a step back. I was doing powerlifting. I was also doing a lot of other things. I ran 10 marathons and I did 3 Ironmans. It didn't bring me the same joy. Over the course of the next couple of months, I kind of had a shift in mindset in which I allowed myself to just pursue powerlifting and kind of give my all to powerlifting. I'm proud of myself for giving myself the opportunity to essentially fail, to put all of my eggs in one basket and to hope for the best, but not necessarily know what the outcome would be, especially since I hadn't seen any progress in a long time. 2022 Worlds, it was my first win at Worlds, and it was an interesting meet because I missed a fair amount of lifts. I missed 2 lifts on technicalities. It was my first time back on the international stage, and I was so nervous.
She jumped the command.
I didn't know if I belonged there. I didn't know if I should be there, but I kind of took that chance and allowed myself to have an opportunity to either fail or succeed. So it was a meet that, for me, yes, walking away with a win was fantastic, but really it was the meet that I believe that I should still be at Worlds and I should still be competing at the top level.
The World Championship title goes to Meghan Scanlon.
Giving myself the opportunity to do it was the best thing that I decided to do. I hit a 5:05 total, which was a PR at the time and my first time crossing that 500 barrier. 6 months later, I competed in December and I hit a 5:37.5 total, so I hit a massive 32.5 kilo PR. That's what I always thought was possible. But really what made me have the belief that I was heading in the right direction was Worlds. Like, when I finished the meet at Worlds, I knew I was in the right place and I knew it was only a matter of time before things started rolling. And they started rolling.
Now here's Meghan Scanlon, the world title this year so far. She had 4 for sure. That was a great spot for Meg. That is a good lift.
The knees knocked.
Good lift for Meghan Scanlon.
Going into 2023 World, my main goal was to PR my total and to come in second. I had a great day in Malta. It was kind of the first meet that I started to put it all together, not just my strength, but also on the platform, and really learn how I'm competing and be confident with that as an athlete. I went 8 for 9. I had a great squat day, I had a PR squat, I benched well, and I had a PR deadlift. So I walked away from that meet confident, and again, just adding kilos onto my lifts and knowing that there is more. I've allowed myself to shift my mindset to myself and where can I go? Because I know that there's more in the tank and I know that there's more left. I could see how, saying you're going to throw another 27.5 kilos on your total might seem a bit cocky. I mean, I left Malta knowing I had a great performance, but also knowing there was so much more about to come. We just found what worked. There's something to that. When you find what works, when you're having fun with it, the kilos tend to roll in. They have. I didn't quite make 27.5, but I threw another 20 kilos on my total at this World. So what's another 20 more? It's one of those days, you just know. Like, the second you get under the barbell, you're like, ooh, I feel strong. This is gonna be a good day. That is exactly how the whole entire day went. Squats went exactly according to plan. Bench, strength showed up on bench. And then for deadlifts, they felt great. Deadlifts, I hit my first 2 attempts and After that, the decision was kind of up to me on what I wanted to do with my third. And for me, the most important thing to do at 2024 Worlds was to win. So I asked for whatever needed to be loaded on the bar to win. And that is what happened.
Your new 63-kilo champion, Meghan Scanlon.
The goal of Worlds was to get to Sheffield. I mean, I feel like I've been working for a long time since I've come back and hoping that someday I would be able to compete at Sheffield, because how cool is it to compete with the 12 other strongest females in the world? It's just kind of like the completion of my mindset shift and believing in myself. It is the meet of the best of the best. It is literally the meet of world champions. I feel like all of the work that I've done for the past 8 years, but really in the past 4 years since coming back to powerlifting, is paying off. That's something that is really cool to experience. At Worlds, I wasn't necessarily at my top end for my lifts. So I think for Sheffield, I have some pretty big goals in mind. I am looking forward to squatting 207.5. I want to bench 150 on the platform. And for deadlifts, I want to absolutely send it. That's something that I haven't been able to do in a long time, and Sheffield is the perfect place to load kilos on the bar.
You see all those world records falling. Now this is a milestone in women's powerlifting, and history is made in Sheffield 2024.
When you put so many elite level athletes in an environment where there's so much energy and the whole goal is to load as much weight as you can on the barbell, there are going to be crazy things that happen. There are going to be insane moments that happen, and I think we've seen that in the past couple of years. I know I have some big goals for myself going to Sheffield, but I'm pretty confident that with the Sheffield magic, I'll be able to hit them.